Welcome to the Flowering Daydream Podcast, where daydreams become reality. I'm Charlene. I'm your host, and it's been a while since I've been on here. So I just want to welcome in all the listeners and all of our new listeners. This is my favorite month of the year. We have Samhain, we have Halloween, we have the transition into fall with all the leaves changing and the cozy fire and warm drinks and warm soups and all the things that I love about this season. This is the time of year where the transition of this season allows things in our shadow side of ourselves to become more relevant, come to the surface, become more prominent. It's a great time to do ancestral work. It's a great time to really tap into the intuitive aspects of yourself. And because it's darker, because there's more, less light, because of this transition of release, just like the earth goes through her season of the leaves changing and falling, everything sheds away to start new when spring comes. So, this is why when we pair up with the earth and the energy and cycles of our environment, because we are the earth, we are made of the earth, we can optimize and maximize our own connection to ourself, to our bodies, to the physical plane, and to the earth when we acknowledge these things. So, this is a great month to dive into ancestral healing if you haven't already, or to just go a little bit deeper and to know that this work is really challenging and difficult and requires a lot of nourishment. So, making sure that you are nourishing yourself in whatever ways work for you. But because of this, we are going to talk about ancestral healing. I think we have one episode last year on this topic that you can go back and listen to as well. Today, I want to offer you an ancestral healing practice. We're going to do that together and a collective reading. But before we get into that, I just want to give you guys a couple of announcements. I have created a course at the Sacred Reflections Online Academy. You can find it at charlenewindes.com. You can also find it on the Sacred Reflections website, which is sacredreflectionsoracledeck.com. This is a class on oracle cards. It's a beginner course and it has everything that you need to learn how to begin reading for yourself or diving a little bit deeper into how to work with the cards in a more empowering way, a more layered type of effect way. And I do also want to say, I think the course is like $45, but if you can't afford this course, I want to make this accessible to everyone. So all you have to do is send me an email to contact@charlenewindes.com and just say, I'd like a coupon for the Oracle card course, please. And I will email it back to you with no questions asked. I would love it if you can afford it and you do support my work. Obviously, this is how I make my bills, things like that, right? Pay the mortgage. But I also understand and want to make healing arts accessible to all communities, all economic levels, to everyone. So just, send me the email and I'll give you the coupon. Also, I am hosting a Samhain Ancestral Healing event at Kindred Healing Space in Everett for their Mystical Night In. This is coming up soon. All you need to do is go to kindredhealingspace.com or click the link in my bio on all my socials, Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, to get your ticket. She's going to have some amazing vendors there. It's always a really fun event. Everybody dresses up, and we'll have the Ancestral Healing Samhain event. So Samhain is a witch's new year, basically. So if you are a practicing pagan or Wiccan or have any connection to your European background with the festivals and histories of rituals before Christianity came and tried to destroy all of these practices, this is where that is rooted. And Samhain is a celebration of honoring the dead, honoring our lineage, honoring our ancestors, honoring the dark, honoring shadow work. It has definitely evolved over the years into something a little bit more than what it was previously. But everyone, anyone with any background can celebrate in this and heal and learn and partake in the energy of the season. So if you didn't know what Samhain is, that is what it is. I just love Samhain. I love the month of October with Halloween decorating and trick-or-treating. I like all of it. I like the leaves changing and falling. I like the soups, the tea, the fire. I like the cozy sweaters. This is the first day I'm wearing a cozy sweater for the season. I love the transition. But also it allows my Aries fire to calm down and ground and root and really be able to experience a full sense of embodiment. I think that's another reason why I like this time of year. So if you are an Aries, you probably know what I'm talking about. All right, so let's get into it. So I want to talk about ancestral healing in the sense of harmful patterns being passed down and also being able to reclaim the gifts of your lineage. So I saw this article the other day that men break lineage patterns. So if you become a mom and you're a female and you have a baby and you have only boys, they are starting a new legacy. They don't carry on the lineage in the same way. If you have a girl, women are passing down more of the lineage because of their wombs and having the eggs of their great grandparents and grandparents within them. It's a little bit harder if you're having girls to do this ancestral healing work. I don't know why it's harder for women to do literally everything on the planet or why it's this way. But that is something to think about that it's a little bit easier if you're born male to be able to break those patterns. That doesn't mean we can't do it and we won't do it. It's just an interesting, thought-provoking thing to think about. I also saw this video recently on the study of worms passing down their emotional DNA to 14 generations. And I think it only takes like 50 days to create 14 generations. So, use your discernment there. But they put something in them that like glowed. And so the worms were glowing all the way down to the 14th generation. So there's epigenetics, there's, all these studies about what we're passing down. I think in my episode last year, I talked about the study of the rats with the cherry blossoms and the electrocuting, and how their babies were never electrocuted, but the parents were. And then when they put the babies in the same environment with the cherry blossoms as the parents were, they immediately acted as though they were being electrocuted. So there's just all these like studies and facts and evidence. I mean, I don't need that evidence because I know for sure what was passed down to me based on the very difficult and challenging patterns that I have intentionally and purposely broken with my life. And I'm the first one in my family to do that on my mom's side. And so it's been hard and really eye-opening, but also so healing and so sad and celebratory all at the same time. And I have a lot more to do. I mean, we all do. I don't think we're ever really done. So there's lots to do. But what I have done has been really amazing. And I know that if you try any of these practices, that you will feel and reap the benefits of that. But you have to be open to feeling the whole spectrum. You have to be open to the difficult things that it brings up. But if you do this, you not only heal yourself and your past and your future, but you heal your community, you heal the collective, you heal the earth that you walk on, because ancestral healing isn't just about you. It's also about the land that you walk on. It's about how we engage with other types of people, what's happened in the history of our lineage and how that's affected other people and the land and each other. It's so much bigger than just ourselves, even though you get that extreme benefit of doing this work. So I hope it inspires you to want to go down an ancestral journey of healing, knowing that it's hard, but knowing that the benefits are incredible. So we have so many types of inheritances with ancestral healing. We have spiritual and energetic inheritance of patterns like fear and scarcity and trauma and disconnection, which can just echo through generations. We have ancestral energetic ties to unresolved experiences that can linger in the family line until someone chooses to heal them. You can imagine it as like energy threads woven through your lineage. Some are golden and strong and life-giving, and others are tangled and frayed. There's relationship dynamics, belief systems around shame, spirituality, gender, money, love, all of those things. So it's just so much that I think we don't realize that we take on. And as I said, some of those things can be really helpful and beneficial and really, really good. But there's so much that needs our attention. So you can not only break the cycles, but you can free yourself and bring peace to your ancestors and resilience to your descendants as well and yourself. So let's do this. Let's get into it. Get yourself into a cozy space. And this is complex, complicated. We're not going to handle it all in one episode or one practice, but we got to start somewhere. So get yourself comfortable. Get yourself a cozy cup of tea, light a candle, make sure you have a blanket. Just put yourself in a really nourishing place to be able to receive this ritual and exercise that we're going to do together. Okay, so we're going to start with some grounding, okay? Just take a nice deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. And really allow your belly to fill with air to rise and fall, not just your chest. Get that breath way down because breath is the number one way that we can get grounded and become fully embodied. Just allow yourself to release your to-do lists, any worries or fears that you might have. Allow yourself to just be totally present and safe and held in a container of safety in this moment. And if you can't visualize or use your imagination, that's okay. Just follow along because your intention will draw this energy. You don't necessarily have to visualize or work with your imagination. Our intention is that we imagine that behind you stands countless ancestors. Some carry pain, others carry wisdom. Today, we are asking that only the healed, well, and wise step forward. I want you to imagine, and if you can, feel their love and support and their presence at your back. And go ahead and ask for one ambassador or one healthy ancestor to step forward. Take a moment to sense into this so that you have an anchor for this work. Sometimes we have to go back several lineages to find the healed and healthy and well ancestors. And those are the ones that we need to work with because those are the ones that are going to help us help the others, right? And sometimes it's helpful to have an anchor. And if you don't see or sense a person, maybe it's a tree, maybe it's another type of symbolism that's showing up. And that's okay. Maybe it's a color. Everybody receives, I think, our intuitive information a little bit differently. But you're calling in a well ancestor to step forward, along with all the healthy and well ancestors. Okay, so now imagine that there are threads of energy that represent harmful patterns, either addiction, shame, silence, fear, whatever it is. These threads of energy, maybe they have a color, maybe they have a temperature, maybe they have some other symbolism associated with it. You want to gently, with your breath, just release them. Release them into the earth for transformation. You just don't have to carry these anymore. You can imagine them kind of floating off and pulling out of you, just like tiny little threads of energy, however many there are. Just give them to the earth. Because our free will does connect to whether or not we bring these forward. And if you're not aware of them, then they just kind of operate on a subliminal plane or subconscious plane. But if we're aware of them, we can say, no, thanks. I don't need these. I don't want these. I don't want to do this anymore. And when we let things kind of float off onto the air, into the clouds, into the fire, out to the earth transforms that energy and works with it like osmosis. It's food for the earth. So just let it go. Maybe you see that primary ancestor, ambassador, or symbolism helping. Ask them to be an ally to support and assist this process. You can also call upon any of your other guides, allies, etc., to support you. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and claim our gifts. Okay, now I want you to imagine that the gifts are golden threads of energy weaving into your body like a beautiful present. And this is the gifts that your ancestors have passed on. This can be resilience, creativity, intuition, love of the land, humor, strength. And let these gold threads of energy, let them root into your heart. Place your hand on your heart and imagine that these gold threads are weaving in and around your heart, spreading to your whole body as you light up with this beautiful gold energy, claiming these gifts from your ancestors. You can say out loud, I release what no longer serves me or my lineage, and I claim the blessings, wisdom, and strength of those who came before me. I walk forward in wholeness. You can make it your own, say it however you want. Let's do this together. I release what no longer serves me or my lineage. I claim the blessings, wisdom, and strength of those who came before me. I walk forward in wholeness. And that's it for today. And you have to take this in small nuggets because when we do this, we are asking to take on this responsibility, have the accountability. There could be a number of ways that this plays out. We have to pay attention. We have to not just do an exercise or a ritual and then move on with our life. We really have to notice how this might be unfolding for us, how we might be receiving these gifts, how we might be releasing these patterns. Really have to pay attention. And then if you like to journal or you like to write, you could take some time to do some journaling after this exercise and ask yourself, what patterns am I ready to release and what gifts do I want to embody? And give yourself some time and space to be able to do that practice. And also, healing doesn't erase the past, it honors it and transforms it. Okay, so really keeping that in mind. And just go ahead and thank your ancestors, your good, true, and well ancestors, the ambassador or anchor that showed up. Just give the thanks. I think that the most amazing part of this is that you're never alone. If you feel alone, you're not. You have a whole crowd of healthy and well ancestors with you, even if you don't feel like you do in this lifetime or you don't feel like you have in the last couple generations, they are there. Those healthy and healed ancestors are there and they can help you, they can love you, they can guide you, they can support you. Just know that you're not alone. Okay, so what are some other ways that you can connect with ancestral healing and your lineage? You can light a candle, say their names. You can make an altar with stones, natural items, photos, whatever. You can make the foods of your lineage. You can research the history of your lineage. You can visit your homelands if you don't already live there. You can take an ancestral healing class and you can pull some cards and ask about ancestral healing. So let's do that now. Let's do a collective reading from our ancestors. This is for everyone. A collective reading means anyone can take something from the reading, but you can also pull out your cards and do an individual and specific reading asking these questions. Okay, so the first question we are going to ask is, what ancestral wound, cycle, or belief am I carrying that is ready to be released? This is going to shine some light on what is weighing you down. Okay, and we're pulling from the Sacred Reflections Oracle deck. And the card that we have is Empath. Nurture and protect your well-being. Okay, so this is a cycle or wound that we have in the collective. And it is that we are not sitting in the seat of our power and being the driver of our experiences. This includes practicing good energy hygiene, having good boundaries, being authentic to who you are, speaking your truth. This is about not absorbing other people's energy. We can be empathic and we can be reading energy and aware of energy, however that might run through your body, but we don't have to allow it to live there or sit there. So it's about really understanding that it's not like it used to be. You don't have to experience all of these things to heal them. Okay. We can be aware of them. We can look at them as a witness and an observer, and we can separate that out to be able to heal it. All right. So that's number one. Number two is the root. Where in my lineage or personal history does this pattern stem from? This is our next question. And it comes from the heart. We have the heart card. Okay. So this might point to a family dynamic, past generations, or symbolic history showing the source. So if the empathy that we're experiencing to the degree of harming us is stemming from the heart, it's about wanting to be open and strong and clear-hearted, right? It's about wanting to come from the heart and believe that everybody wants kindness and love and peace and connection, right? We can hold that as the intention collectively. The fact of the matter is, we still need to have boundaries. We need to allow ourselves to be heart centered, but also be strong, firm, and authentic within ourselves and what we will and won't accept. You're not just giving away your energy. Both of these cards are saying, you're just like letting people get it. You're just giving it away, right? So it's like, no, you don't get it. You earn it. You earn it. And also, I don't give away personal energy anymore. You can channel universal energy from the earth, from spirit, from wherever you spiritually anchor. You do not have to give this personal energy anymore. The old ways of the healers was giving personal energy. It wasn't channeling universal and infinite energy. It was giving away your own energy. And this is the pattern that we are going to break. No longer give from your own well. Okay, that's yours. We're going to give from the universal well, and you're going to learn how to channel it through you. That's from nature. That's the number one place you can get that energy. Everything in nature is there to restore, is there to enrich, nourish, and enliven. But you have to be connected with your environment to be able to access that. Okay, that's number two. Number three, this is the gift. What strength, wisdom, or blessing is being offered by my well ancestors at this time? This is our third card. We're going to pull five. Okay, we have the intuition card. Trust your intuition. So this is the gift. This is saying intuition is your birthright. This is your gift. You can access your ancestors through this. You can access your higher self through this. You can access your internal intrinsic wisdom. Okay? Do not ignore your intuition. Do not ignore your gut feelings. Do not ignore what you know deep down to be true. You don't need someone or something else to tell you what this is. You already know. You just have to shut out the noise. Take back your power and listen. That is the gift. Okay, now we have the healer's path. What action, practice, or mindset will help me release the old and embody the gift? Okay, this could be a ritual, a shift in perspective, or a daily commitment. We have the play card. Okay, this is about remembering what it's like to be a kid and seeing the world through those eyes of awe and wonder, right? Like playing in a puddle, awe and wonder, playing with Play-Doh, playing outside with sticks. I mean, whatever we did as a kid. You don't have judgment, opinions. You don't have societal and cultural downloading yet, at least not fully until around the age of 7. So, what practice is going to help you embody this gift of intuition is being playful, is not taking life too seriously at times, is remembering what it's like to just be silly and not give two shits about what somebody else thinks. It's about embodying your inner child, not letting go of that and making sure that you're honoring that part of yourself. Okay, lastly, the blessing. What blessing or energy flows into my life and lineage as I commit to this healing? This is the outcome. This is how your healing ripples forward and backward through your line. And we have the ego card. This is a shadow card, balancing the ego's influence. So the blessing is that you get out of your ego and you get into your intuition and into your higher self. You get out of what people think. You get out of what people judge. You get out of other people's opinions. You get out of all the energy bubbles you've gotten yourself into online or politically or wherever the hell you are. Pull it all back, strip it down. Okay. Humanity is what matters. Love, connection, embodiment, presence, caring for each other, caring for the earth. Get out of your ego. That's the blessing. That was kind of powerful. That was awesome. So you can take your cards, you can do a more specific to you reading, but that was a great collective reading from the Sacred Reflections Oracle deck. So that's it for today's episode. If this resonated with you, share it with someone on their healing path. And as always, may your journey with your ancestors bring both release and renewal. You can find the Sacred Reflections Oracle deck on my website. And thank you so much for listening to the Flowering Daydream Podcast, where daydreams become reality.